Breaking news we're getting from the PA Newswire that there's been reports of an explosion outside Liverpool Street Station. That, of course, in the East End of London. It's the bordering area. You'll be maybe familiar with the Swiss building known as the Gherkin, which, of course, has been a familiar landmark throughout London for the past sort of couple of years or so. That's very close to Liverpool Street Station. They're getting this reports of an explosion from the British Transport Police.
Yeah, no more information at the moment. No details of whether the police had been informed of a warning. Of course, it comes just after the rush hour ended, 9 o'clock. Most people at work probably by now, but emergency services, so assuming the fire brigade, ambulance service as well, and indeed British Transport Police are going to London's Liverpool Street Station after reports there of an explosion.
It is one of the busiest links at this time of day within London. All the people coming out of from Essex and that sort of area, all commuting into London, all arriving at Liverpool Street Station. There's a whole hub, of course, of underground stations as there. Many people use it for links into the City of London. It's often one of the best ways in from there, but it is one of the busiest areas that we know within London. The latest we're getting is from the London Ambulance Service telling us that they've sent resources out to the scene. Now, by that they mean a number of vehicles have been sent to Liverpool Street Station. No further details of what could have caused this explosion, what it could be, how big it's been, or indeed at this time whether there have been any injuries. But of course the ambulance service telling us that it has sent a number of vehicles to Liverpool Street Station in the last few minutes.
The station has, as you'll no doubt understand, been closed now this morning. Eyewitnesses say there was a bang heard during rush hour. Of course, now it's slightly after rush hour. That's according to British Transport Police. The noise could have been power-related, is some speculation we're hearing from Reuters, though still early days and officers are attending the scene. But clearly a bang was heard in the last hour or so at Liverpool Street Station down in central London. But it could be power-related, so not necessarily an explosion there in London's financial district.
One would expect rather a rapid response from all the emergency services. It's very close to the security cordon, which is still around the centre of London. That has been there, of course, for many years since, of course, all the problems with the IRA. There are still police officers around that area, so there should be a very rapid response to any sort of alert of this kind. But details still very sketchy. As soon as we get anything further, we'll keep you fully up to date.
You're watching Sunrise on Sky News. The other top stories this morning: Tony Blair has been meeting George.
Result of this. This is the scene outside Stratford station. Again, it's right at the end of the Jubilee line, of course. A very busy station. And you see the queuing of people outside of there as the lines there have now been closed just as a precaution.
Half an hour ago, this explosion, this bang happened, of course, shortly after rush hour. But anyone who travels in London will know that the tubes are busy all the time. That's just one station that has been affected. 4 or 5 others, it's believed, have been evacuated as well. Of course, the Metropolitan line, a very busy line running through the centre of London, and thousands of people will be affected. Well, as you'll know, we've been reporting from Stratford this morning on the Olympic bid. Greg Milam is there for us this morning. Greg, what are you being told down there about this?
Well, we're hearing from people inside the station here in Stratford that alarms have been going off, what they think are fire alarms, but equally people saying that they're being told of incidents elsewhere that have forced the station to be closed. It's causing chaos here, as you can imagine. It will be busy enough at this time of the morning with people trying to get into London without, of course, all the attention because of the Olympics that's here as well. So people pouring out of the station, heading towards the shopping centre, trying to find another way in. The Stratford station that you can see is next to the bus station. Many people heading to the bus station to try and find a way in, but at this stage no definite information as to why they're being evacuated or why the line is closed. But some people saying they're hearing alarms inside, some people saying they're hearing of incidents at Bank or Liverpool Street, but no real clear information at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not unusual, is it, to have this sort of evacuation at a London Underground station?
It's not. It happens, as many people will know, and will see. The scenes will be familiar to a lot of people. That it only takes one small incident, and just because of the sheer number of people who are getting into a station and getting on the trains that head into town, any small breakdown in communication causes this sort of backlog in people, and it leaves people stranded as to what they can do. We'll just show you the fact that the tube trains appear to be moving through the Stratford station, although, as you can see, nobody on
Greg, can I just interrupt you a second?
So,
we're just hearing from the City of London Police that what they're saying is that it was an explosion and that it happened at Aldgate Tube Station. Aldgate East, I beg your pardon, Tube Station. That's where it happened, which is, of course, quite close to Liverpool Street, is on the Metropolitan line, also on the Central line.
On the Circle line there, yeah. Very close, of course, to the East End. Again, that very close in terms of kilometres to Liverpool Street Station. Shoreditch as well, and all close to the DLR. So really what you'd class it as being the start of the East End of London, if you like. Aldgate East, not the busiest station at this time of day, but still there will be many commuters there, but it's not one of the busiest areas on the London Underground system.
So, Greg, what's happening there now? Is there any signs it's going to reopen, or...?
Well, I can tell you, actually, from what we're seeing here, people appear to be heading back into the station. We can just see a slow movement of that crowd heading back up the stairs and back onto the platforms, actually. The trains arriving from out of London appear to have people on them, and we've just seen some empty ones leave, but certainly the doorway of the station, people are moving in, heading up the stairs, heading up towards the platforms. Now, whether that's just to get them out of the rain or whether there is movement, it's not clear at this stage, but the trains that you can see there coming in, the tubes coming in to Stratford Station, do have people on, and would appear to be heading into central London, and of course into the city, with the right side of town for that. That's where people are generally going this time of the morning, and certainly Aldgate and Liverpool Street and Bank and that area are stations that are full with people heading into the financial institutions at this time of the morning. Certainly activity inside the station. It would appear from where we're standing that people are moving through the station, although whether that's an indication that it's reopening and services are up and running again, I can't say, but the trains appear to be moving, there are people on them, and it seems as if the backlog is clearing somewhat outside the station here.
OK, Greg, let's just update people. An explosion on a subway line this morning in London's financial district. British Transport Police confirming cause not immediately known. Eyewitnesses saying they heard a bang and there are several walking wounded. That's as much as police are telling us. The fire brigade is saying that there are 10 fire engines on location at Aldgate East. You can see it there on the map in London's business district and close to where Greg was talking to us from. 10 fire engines at the scene and ambulances as well, treating the wounded there. No immediate explanation of what caused this, though there are some people suggesting that it could have been a collision between two trains or a power outage, some sort of problem with the power system on that Metropolitan line, which is where the explosion was heard.
Buses, the ones that I have seen have appeared to have been emptied or not in service signs put up. Aside from that, I've seen hardly no buses at all, which seems to suggest that they have been put out of service because of the uncertainty. People are just milling around the streets, clearly because of the absolute chaos now surrounding the public transport. People are just trying to walk wherever they can or get a taxi, which is, of course, virtually impossible. Word is starting to get around amongst people. I've seen people crowding around televisions as people now trying to actually work out exactly what's gone on today.
Lisa, the latest I'm hearing from Scotland Yard is that they are now confirming at least 3 explosions on buses in central areas of London, that coming from the Associated Press newswire. It has to be said, sadly, that the G8 gathering had prompted fears of some kind of terrorist spectacular. Obviously, the focus of attention was up there at Gleneagles, but as far as a target goes for terrorists, the tube network and the bus system, of course, very, very simple to target. Excuse me 1 second. London blasts caused some fatalities. That's coming from a transport company source. Lisa, just going back to what I was saying, fears of a terrorist spectacular linked to G8.